A few weeks ago, something strange happened. Elon Musk's name was being associated with something other than cars, AI, or even space. Instead, to widespread curiosity, it was Jesus and a sign from him at the Euphrates River. Elon Musk, often described as a mad genius and a Twitter troll, is more renowned for his groundbreaking inventions than for his social media disputes, cautionary predictions about the future, or involvement in controversies. Despite this, Musk recently drew attention by discussing the potential consequences of the drying Euphrates. This has led to a surge in Google searches about the Euphrates, highlighting its significance as one of the world's most vital rivers. Why is that so interesting? The Bible says that the end of the world will come when the Euphrates dries up. What does Elon Musk mean when he says, "Be careful"? How does the rest of the world see the Euphrates? In today's video, we'll find out. Elon Musk has been issuing warnings about potential future threats and dangers. Recently, he mentioned the possibility of the Euphrates River drying up, which could have global implications. The Euphrates River holds historical significance and is often referenced in religious texts, such as the Bible. Some individuals have drawn connections between Elon Musk's warnings and biblical prophecies, particularly those related to the second coming of Jesus Christ and apocalyptic events. This has led to discussions about the timing of these events, with some expressing heightened concerns based on their interpretations of religious texts. There has been intense debate about prophecy on various platforms such as websites, Bible study groups, and churches. However, observers have noted a sense of fear among participants. The question arises, why are they so apprehensive? To comprehend this, consider a chilling tale about the Euphrates River. The Euphrates has been pivotal to the growth and prosperity of numerous cultures, particularly in the ancient era. Notably, the Mesopotamian kingdom thrived in this region, which was situated in the Fertile Crescent between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Now part of Iraq, stretching over 1,640 miles, the Euphrates is the longest river in Western Asia, originating in eastern Turkey and culminating in the Persian Gulf, passing through Iraq, Syria, and Turkey. The river sustains diverse flora, with human intervention shaping much of its surrounding landscape over millennia, while preserving remnants of ancient vegetation. The majority of the water in the Euphrates River comes from rain and melting snow, resulting in its highest flows occurring in April and May. Babylon, the capital of the ancient Babylonian Empire, was situated along this section of the river and served as a prime example of its water movement. Over 4,000 years ago, Babylon began as a small harbor on the Euphrates River and has since become part of modern-day Iraq. Despite its historical significance, only remnants of the city remain today. During Hammurabi's rule, Babylon emerged as one of the most influential cities of its time. The Treaty of Lausanne in 1923 led to changes in Southwest Asia's borders following the dissolution of the Ottoman Empire after World War I. The treaty said that the three countries along the Euphrates, Turkey at the time, France for its mandate in Syria, and the United Kingdom for its mandate in Iraq, had to reach an agreement on utilizing the river's water and constructing hydraulic infrastructure. In 1946, a deal was made between Turkey and Iraq, stipulating that Turkey had to inform Iraq if there were any changes in the flow of the Tigris-Euphrates river system. Additionally, Iraq was granted permission to construct dams on Turkish territory to regulate the flow of the Euphrates. In the 1970s, Turkey initiated the Southeastern Anatolia Project, GAP, a comprehensive initiative aimed at utilizing the waters of the Tigris and Euphrates for irrigation, hydroelectric power generation, and economic development in the southeastern region of Turkey. The Keben Dam and the Tabqa Dam were the first dams constructed on the Euphrates in Turkey and Syria, both completed in the same year. By 1975, the reservoir behind the dams was filled. Concurrently, a severe drought hit the area, causing a drastic reduction in the water flow into Iraq from these rivers, plummeting from 159 cubic kilometers in 1973 to a mere 4 cubic kilometers in 1975. In response to this crisis, Iraq threatened to bomb the Tabqa Dam, leading to international concern. Eventually, after intervention from Saudi Arabia and the Soviet Union, Iraq and Syria reached an agreement through diplomatic negotiations. The construction of dams and irrigation systems along the Euphrates River has significantly impacted on the environment and culture of the countries situated along its banks. The building of dams, particularly to bridge the gap between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers, has resulted in the destruction of 382 villages, leading to the displacement of approximately 200,000 people. Moreover, in recent years, the water level of the river has decreased to a perilously low level. The flow of water from Turkey into Syria has fallen below the agreed-upon amount, with recent measurements indicating a rate of less than 200 cubic meters per second, which is less than half of what was stipulated in a 1987 agreement between the two countries. Recent visual evidence captured along the riverbanks shows that a substantial portion of the Euphrates River has dried up, transforming once thriving areas into desolate landscapes. Notably, images of the Rojava Dam, Tishrin, the second largest dam on the Euphrates River in Syria, show a significant decline in the river's water level. For years, Turkey has been using the Euphrates River as a tool against Syria, resulting in the obstruction of water flow into Iraq and Syria. In 1987, a pact was established between the governments of Damascus and Ankara, stipulating that Turkey must supply 500 cubic meters of water per second to Syria. However, Turkey has failed to uphold its end of the agreement and is only providing 200 cubic meters of water per second. This significant reduction in water supply has visibly impacted the region, leading to decreased water levels in Syria's dam lakes, diminished electricity production and supply, reduced arable land along the Euphrates for farming, and a growing scarcity of clean drinking water. The independent government of North and East Syria has cautioned that Turkey's actions to lower the Euphrates River's level could trigger humanitarian crises and endanger the lives of approximately 9 million Syrians residing along the river. The authorities responsible for the dams in northern and eastern Syria have appealed to human rights organizations and the global community to intervene in Turkey's actions. Concerns have been raised about the rapid decline of the Euphrates River, with geologists expressing worry over dropping water levels, which hinders their ability to identify the cause of this alarming issue. The UN has issued warnings about worsening heat waves in the Mediterranean region. Lake Assad is deteriorating due to this pattern, and according to the World Climate Danger Index, Syria is among the most vulnerable countries. Some individuals have speculated that this phenomenon is linked to the Book of Revelation in the Bible, as there are few plausible explanations for the rivers drying up. Many people are not surprised by the changes, attributing them to biblical prophecies. In chapter 16 of the Book of Revelation, it is mentioned that the sixth angel poured his bowl into the Euphrates River, causing its water to dry up. This action is described as a way to clear the path for the kings from the east. The significance of this event is not to make the water worse or hinder its use, but rather to symbolize the removal of a defensive barrier, allowing the kings from the east to advance. The Euphrates River is repeatedly referred to as the Great River in the Bible and serves as a geographical marker for the eastern boundary of Israel's land. Israel's safety was attributed to geographical barriers, such as the difficulty of crossing the river, and the presence of a desert between Israel and Canaan, the Promised Land. The Euphrates River, which runs over 2,000 miles towards Palestine before turning southeast towards the Persian Gulf, acted as a natural boundary in ancient times. During the 1st century, the Euphrates River served as a dividing line between the east and west, with China and India located to the east. Historically, Cyrus of Persia's army took control of Babylon by diverting the path of the Euphrates River, allowing them to enter and conquer the city. It is prophesied that during the Great Tribulation, an enemy from the east will cross the Euphrates, pass through Babylon and enter Palestine. In Revelation 9:14, the sixth angel with the trumpet is instructed by God to release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates. This signifies God's control over all events, whether allowing or causing them to happen. The mention of the Euphrates, historically a border between Israel and Assyria, serves as a reminder that in the end times, evil will not go unpunished, The reference to the angels being bound indicates their demonic nature as fallen angels, often associated with darkness. The belief is that sin is connected to the Euphrates Valley, where 4 angels are held captive. It is speculated that the first murder occurred near the Garden of Eden in the Euphrates Valley. There have been reports of strange voices emanating from a river that is drying up, which some interpret as a sign of safety. This has led people to believe that current events signify the imminent return of Christ to vanquish his adversaries and establish his divine kingdom. Joseph Kabuleta, the pastor of Watchman Ministries, recently convened a watchers' meeting at Uma, during which he urged the people of Uganda to be vigilant for signs of the end of the world. At the 2022 Watchers meeting on September 17th, Kabuleta made startling declarations, stating, "We're here today to tell you things that will shock you." He followed my instructions and interpreted the complex prophecies in the Bible, demonstrating that many of the Bible's predictions about the end of the world have already been fulfilled. One of the recent prophecies that has come to pass is the revival of the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea, which lacks marine life, vegetation, and animals, is renowned as the saltiest body of water on earth. However, in Ezekiel 47, God informed the prophet Ezekiel that the water would become pure again and able to support living organisms. In 2016, freshwater fish ponds were discovered along the banks of the Euphrates River, which supported the prediction that these ponds would be found in the area. This discovery provided evidence that the prediction was accurate and helped to confirm the location of the prophesied battle near the river. Kabuleta provided more information about the terrible battle that is prophesied to occur near the Euphrates River in the last days, as described in Ezekiel 38 and Revelation 9. The Bible states that a 200 million person army, comprising people from Turkey, Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iran, Russia, China, and the former Soviet Union, will fight together against Israel. Kabuleta emphasized that if this massive army were to take over Israel, the nation would have to use nuclear weapons to prevent being wiped out. According to Revelation 16:12, the Euphrates River will dry up during the prophesied battle, making it easier for soldiers to move around during the conflict. In 2016, the river experienced a drying up event, which further supported the accuracy of the prophecy. If no action is taken, experts predict that the river will cease to exist by 2040. Due to unprecedented damage caused by the war, the international community will assist the conflicting parties in reaching a temporary peace agreement. Kabuleta asserts that this is why the promise of peace for 7 years, as mentioned in Daniel 9:27, will be ratified. According to the Bible, after 7 years, human authority will diminish and Jesus will return. Concerned individuals have expressed surprise at how the new information seems to align with their worries. The most plausible explanation for the fate of the river is derived from the Bible. However, alternative theories suggest that the situation along the Euphrates is linked to political objectives and climate change. Are the predictions proving to be accurate, or is the decrease in the river's water level due to climate change? Despite Elon Musk's lack of belief in God, he has refrained from making baseless claims about these occurrences. Instead, he has supported his statements with research on the river and scientific data. What are your thoughts on this?